1,700 square miles of real estate. It's a lot. And then I transitioned now into the clinical education role after being a trainer for some time. Thank you guys for having me. I'm going to try to keep this brief because I do know that you guys have a busy day, and we opted to do it here in the break room so you guys are more comfortable. We're not in a cramped OR, and we didn't want to do, death by PowerPoint at 6 in the morning. That's just not fun. So, basic introduction to CO2 lasers, okay? You guys all should know basic fire safety, okay? When it comes to CO2, you guys will be working in the airway, all right? Oxygen concentration, okay? It's one thing we need to make a fire. We have our ignition source, which is the laser, which we can't do anything about, okay? And then we also have fuel, okay? Endotracheal tubes are 99% of the time the fuel source, okay? You should be using laser safe endotracheal tubes, okay? If you guys don't have those, I'm pretty sure you can get with your administrators to get those taken care of, or under jet ventilation. Open fascia is not a good source, okay, with nasal cannulas and oxygen tanks, all right? We at Fortec recommend 30% oxygen concentration or less just to maintain a good field so that we don't intentionally create fires, okay? It's your basic fire safety. Second things, auxiliary things, just know where your fire extinguisher is. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the OR with you, but if it's in the sterile core, if it's in the hallway, if it's at the nurse's station, know where it is so that you're able to easily access it, okay? Basic fire. Electrical safety. You wanna make sure that the floor is dry around your laser machine. You never wanna operate any laser, except in urology, because you can't really get away from it. It's a lot of irrigation in urology. But any laser peripheral that you use, you definitely want to make sure that the floor is dry around your laser, okay? Also, do not plug your laser machine into anesthesia to where the boom or anesthesia is plugged into. The laser has a short, understandably. Most ORs are set up with GFCI circuit breakers. They have their own circuit breakers, but we don't want to do anything that could put the patient at risk, okay? We all advocate for patients in the OR room, okay? And this is one of the things that we can do to be on the patient's side without them even knowing. So plug into a different plug outside of your anesthesia unit. Good to go. Okay. CO2. CO2 wavelength is 10,600, okay? Infrared, okay? Not necessarily dangerous as far as an ocular safety hazard, but it is does high thermal damage, okay? That being said, I see a lot of reading glasses in the room. Those do not protect you from the laser, okay? That's a common misconception. Even though this laser is absorbed into glass and water, your reading glasses don't have the optical density enough to stop what's called the basic aversion reaction. Our basic aversion reaction to bright lights and things being flashed at our eyes is about 0.25 to 0.5 seconds. Your reading glasses won't stop it. The glasses that are provided with your laser, okay, it's the optical density of 4+. All right. I'm gonna jump straight into the machine now, okay, because I do know that you guys are pressed for time and this can be a little bit tricky. I do know that you guys have some experience with the older AccuPulse Dual system. That was a luminous product. This is very, very comparable, okay? Major differences between the two. One, that's manufactured in Israel, okay? Boston Scientific bought that company and they no longer make the surgical laser arms. No more, so no more service, no more parts coming out of Israel, nothing, okay? Not only that, the global climate over there has been pretty shaky at best. So getting materials and things like that and supplies from that part of the world is pretty tough at this particular moment, okay? So as at Fortec, we've been working with the DEKA brand for 6 years now, about 6 years now. It's a very, very good product based out of Italy. So difference between that, Israel is basically American standard, 1, 2, 3. DEKA, European, metric. That can be a little bit confusing at first, okay? So I'm gonna jump right in. Laser safety, never leave your key unattended, which I did apparently.
Right here.
Yeah, we go. I surely did leave it unattended. First rule, broke my own rule.
Don't do what he did.
All right. On the back of the machine, okay, if you guys have problems with powering your machine up, always double check your circuit breaker. Circuit breaker is at the bottom back of the machine. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Right is closed, meaning that the connection will be made. Left is open, meaning no electricity will run through the machine. Okay, so just double check the bottom of your machine. Make sure that your circuit breaker is facing the right direction. When you start your machine up, you just turn your key and the machine will start up. There is no shutdown procedure for this machine, okay? So you can just turn it off at any point in time. All right. One thing that your biomed will always check, they'll do your electrical safety check, and they will also check your emergency stop. Never ever use a laser that doesn't have a proper emergency stop, okay? In case something happens, there is a fire or something like that, you hit that emergency stop, it powers the machine down completely, okay? Without that functionality, it can pose a grave risk. That's something that your biomeds will be taking into account, okay? When the machine starts up, the buttons on the top of the machine move the screen. When the machine starts up, just follow the prompts, okay? Take you into your CO2 menu. You guys are doing, I'm assuming, microlaryngoscopies, direct suspension, bronchoscopy, that type of thing, okay? You will go into your CO2 menu, it says CO2, and this is the one that you want, high scan surgery. That's what attaches the laser to your micro manipulator, okay? It's a very, very advanced piece of machinery, and your scanner, located at the top here, that is the meat and potatoes of the machine, okay? The physicians, they can do it just plain dot, just point and shoot like a Star Wars laser beam. That high scan function gives them the options of shape changing as well as size control. It gives them a level of control that's really, really important, especially in that smaller area around your vocal folds, okay? Working in very serious area, sensitive areas, excuse me. And also, those things don't roll back. So they want to get it right the first time, okay? All right, one thing that you want to be mindful for, when you're plugging in your Microman, okay, this will need to be plugged in before you go into this menu, okay? I always tell my trainees, go home. Just go back to the home screen or have the machine on, okay? If this is plugged in while you're in the menus, you can definitely damage the scanning system. That is the number one thing that happens with capital purchases. People are in a hurry, they're moving the machine back and forth between rooms, and they'll turn the machine on, plug it in, and think everything's okay. That can damage the servo, the motherboard of the machine, and it will not work anymore. You gotta get the scanner and stuff replaced, which can be kind of costly. Okay?
You want me to get the microwave?
Please, just to show them, I can show you physically what it looks like. Other things to be looking out for, again, how I move the screen with the buttons on the top of the machine. Don't try to manually move it. It has a motor, you can damage the motor, okay? Also, you have indicators of where your laser energy is coming out of. On the top, there's a blue ring around the top to let you know that the power is coming through the articulating arm, okay? When you plug in a fiber or waveguide, which they're more professionally called waveguide, when you plug this in, that will illuminate blue to let you know that the power is being diverted through the fiber, okay? Do we have any questions so far? I know it's early and I'm speaking kind of fast because you guys have to go. Any questions so far? Please, by all means, stop.
So just to clarify, we need to plug in the micro manipulator on first before turning it on, or before we get past that menu?
Before you get past this menu.
This side, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The machine can be on, because like I said, I do understand you guys move quick, right? Doctors want things, turnover and stuff like that. The machine can be on. Just button at the bottom, ET, go home. If you have to disconnect or connect the microphone.
Okay.
That will save you any headaches in the future. Okay. This machine is pretty advanced. It can do quite a few different things. We have about 7 different pattern generations, multiple sizes. Fully flushed out, you can get about 15 different orientations with the Microman. So it can be used in a lot of versatile situations. You cannot just use it for ENT, which is what you guys will be using it for, but also you can use it for GYN applications, for podiatry, or any other dermal aesthetic type of cases. Yeah, James Bond case, right? Okay, so Laura Croft Tomb Raider. Right? Okay. Microman. Okay. This is what the doctor will use to basically point and shoot from the seated position from the face of the microscope into the patient's airway. Okay. What happens is this plate right here will mount onto the face of the microscope. Okay. Any questions there? Okay. The operating face of the microscope. This plate will mount. This will be facing away from you. The laser will plug into the top up here. Okay. This has a male receiving end. This has a female end. Okay. You always want to keep your dust covers on. You don't want to get anything down inside of there, any dust or debris, things like that. That can cause potential issues in the future. And this is your connection port. Okay. Your connection port for your communication cable with the scanner. Okay. You have a red dot on here that faces the front of the Microman unit. Red dot to red dot, it goes straight in. There's no twisting or turning. Those pins must stay straight as they're going in and coming out. Otherwise, you can have a communication issue. Okay, that could not only just put the machine at risk, but that could also put the patient at risk as well. Any questions with that?
In removing it, is there kind of like you need to hold both ends together, or there's kind of like a?
That's a very, very good question. On your cable, you have a depression ring. This entire ring moves up and down, okay? And that will lock or unlock the communication cable from the micro manipulator, okay? So as you pull up, it will naturally pull up and unlock. As you push down, it will snap into place and lock it into place. Very good question. Anything else before I continue on? Okay. One of the things that I get most often asked about is how to focus it, okay? Doctors want to know, staff, you guys should want to know, especially those of you who are in the circulating role in the OR, okay? On the side of your Microman, you have a lot of different numbers and shapes and things, okay? Does anybody in here know what focal distance is? Focal distance. Would you mind explaining to us what focal distance is?
The distance you need to be able to see what you need to look at.
Exactly, okay? That's the same thing for your Microman. The same thing for the microscope is the same thing that needs to happen to the Microman, okay? If the Microman and microscope are out of sync, then you're not gonna get good energy transmission, okay? Focal distance for your direct laryngoscopies are typically 400, okay? It's 400 millimeters. It's about 1.5 feet away, meaning this plate right here, this face, will be about 1.5 feet away from the target. On your microscopes, it should say 400 somewhere, either on a analog rotary dial or on a computer face on the back of the microscope, okay? Once you get that, you have to set your Microman. You have one major arrow up top. I'll get close to you so you can see it. You have one major arrow up top. In order to move it, the entire thing, to get to that 400, okay, got it 400 now, you have to unlock it. In order to unlock it, you have to be on fine focus. Once you're in place, you can lock it. Now you can use your defocusing ring, and this is what the doctors will use to ablate. I'm gonna say it one more time because it can be a little bit confusing. 400 is typically the working distance for direct laryngoscopies, okay, under microscope, or microlaryngoscopies, direct suspension. In order to get it to 400, you have to unlock it by being in fine focus. That's the smallest point that the Microman can make. That allows you to move the entire wheel, okay? 400, once you get it to 400, lock it into place. Now the doctor can take it off of fine focus and defocus the beam for more of an ablative effect. So he's not excising, he's ablating, just taking off that top dermal layer of tissue, okay? If you have any questions with that, because that happens all the time, this gets knocked out, just give me a call and I'll walk you back through it, okay? The joystick is down at the bottom. It moves that lens, guys, as you can see it. The The lens has quite a bit of motion in it, and you can actually adjust that, but that's a little bit more advanced. We're not gonna worry about it. I'll do it for you right now, and you guys should be good to go. Second thing, the doctor has control of the size, shape, and orientation of what's actually happening with the scan. So if you're using a line or a circle, or if you're using a hexagon shape, the doctor can control the size without you guys ever even having to touch the unit.
Can he control the shape from there?
He
or
can't
just
control the
size?
shape. It would be up to you guys to physically touch the shape that he wants.
I see.
But the orientation, like rotating the shape left or right, or going through the sizes, he can do that all himself without you guys ever having to get involved, okay? It rotates in 360 degrees either direction. Just hold it to the left or the right. And if you want to change the shape, depress it in. It will go down through the sizes until it gets to the bottom max, and then it will start back at the maximum largest size, and you can go back down. Okay? Any questions with that? It's very, very convenient for you guys, especially when you're in these cases, because you got the tower and stuff to worry about. There's a lot of things going on, especially your circulator. You don't want to have to stop every 5 seconds and change a set. Gives the doctor a lot of control. Okay. I'm going to plug this in right now. Brett, would you do me a favor? Could you hold this for me, please? I don't want to drop it. This thing is worth a little bit more than my salary. Yeah, just hold the weight for me. I'm going to plug this in and show you guys what it looks like in the screen. Okay. Again, red dot to red dot on the front. It goes straight in, up and down, and it just depresses straight in. Click, good to go. When you're ready to remove that ring, just pull straight up, and it will come out effortlessly.
Is it easier once it's mounted on the mattress?
It is,
is,
because
yeah.
you have like a physical
Stability.
ground, yeah.
Okay.
So that's all that is, okay? Straight in, straight out. Okay. All right. Male in, female in. All right. What you're seeing here, this can be dangerous, okay? This is your aiming beam. It's a 5 milliwatt beam that the machine naturally produces as a byproduct of it going through its normal functions, okay? This is basically your cat toy, your pointer, laser pointer, and stuff like that, okay? This isn't actually physical damaging laser energy coming out, okay? Just so you guys are aware, it's not gonna hurt you per se, but you don't wanna look directly into it. It's basically the same thing that's in a CD disc drive on your PlayStation or Xbox. You don't wanna look into it. Alright. This just twists on, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Thank you. Yep. Alright, so close this so you
So
guys
now
can see.
break the microscope.
Yeah. So we're gonna, Brett's the microscope. We're gonna assume you guys are attached
Yeah.
to the microscope.
This way. 'Cause you don't want to be straight to the.
I would hit you.
Yeah, yeah. Do me a favor, if you could point that at the wall right there.
Thank you.
No, it's okay, it's okay. Going into your menu, okay? You guys who are my circulators in the OR, like I said, you just wanna go into your CO2. Now you see that your high scan is highlighted, okay? Before we had it plugged in, it will not be highlighted. Okay, that's a clear sign that you have a connection issue if you're trying to use it and you can't go into that menu. Something's not connected right, all right? High scan surgical brings up a menu with a lot of different options, all right? First one being power. How much power does the doctor want to direct to the target tissue, okay? Typically for these cases, I have not seen a doctor go over 10 to 12 watts maximum in the airway, typically, okay? If you see anything outside of that threshold, that's when you want to say something, say, hey doctor, just want to verify that you want to go higher. You know, we're in a very sensitive area, okay? Everybody in the room at any given point in time can advocate for a patient. So if you see a gross negligence, if you're at 60 watts and you're in the patient's throat, that's a major problem. You should not be doing that, okay?
Can they even go up that high?
Yes, this is a 60 watt laser, and this will shoot straight to the moon. Yeah, it's pretty advanced technology. Any questions on that as far as patient safety goes? Okay, this machine gets down as low as half a watt, I believe. Let's find out. I think it's half a watt. It's been a while since I've taken it all the way down. Half a watt. That's your lowest power setting. Okay, maximum 60 watts. Okay.
I have a picture of the presets that Dr. Wong likes as well.
Okay, that's
I'll
good
share
as
it
well.
with you guys.
You can also save your presets on here. So once Brett puts those in, he can physically save them. So all you guys have to do is push a button, brings up the settings. You don't even have to guess. Okay, makes it very, very simple. Depth is how deep he wants the actual laser beam to fire into the tissue. Okay, remember you guys were using the Acupulse Duo. The doctor said, "Oh, I want a 1 for my depth, or I want a 2 for my depth." It's different on this machine, okay, because it's American standard versus metric. A 1 basic equivalent is not exactly a 1-to-1 comparison, but a basic equivalent for a 1 is 0.2 millimeters. A 2 is about 0.4 millimeters, 3.6, 4.8, etc., etc. Okay, you can get a maximum depth of penetration of 2 millimeters on this machine. That is very deep when you're considering the area that you're firing into. Okay, 2 millimeters is very, very deep. That's about the thickness of the top epidermis layer of your skin. Okay, going down into the papillary dermis right before the reticular dermis.
And Dr. Wong will keep it at the lowest setting. That's what he's been using.
Okay, very, very good. The bar right up under there allows you to change the shape. Pretty standard stuff. The only one that's very, very advanced is your arc. Can you show them on the wall? Just pointed at the wall, okay? Give me 1 second.
Or I can get closer. Yeah.
I think that's the issue. Yeah. Can you see it with your camera? The arc,
Oh.
there we go. The arc can create a complete circle. Can you go through the menu for me, Brett, and turn that arc down? It's on the right. It's on the right-hand side. That's your size. Okay. You can actually break the arc down. Okay. This is very good around the apex of a vocal fold. If you have papilloma or leukoplakia around the top portion of the vocal fold, and the doctor wants to take out that whole section at one time. Not only that, he can rotate it 360 degrees in either direction, right here from the joystick.
Now, what Dr. Wong usually likes is the line.
So
the line or the point is what he's been using.
the line basically does that. It gives us a line. Okay, you can adjust the size, and again, you can do all of that right there from the joystick and rotate it in any direction.
Does he know that? Okay.
Okay.
No, he really likes this little joystick.
The joystick is a major seller with the doctors. It gives them a lot more control right there at their fingertips, and they're less at the behest of somebody having to know the system. Okay. Exposure mode is just how the laser's coming out. Most doctors want that on a repeat setting. They do not want to have a constant beam coming out. The average time for a repeat would be about 0.2 or 0.3 second delay. It's a it just breaks up the laser beam so that it's not constantly coming out as a stream. Okay. You can also set it to single pulse. Step on the pedal one time and fire. Or like I said before, continuous. As long as you're stepping on the pedal, the laser will continue to fire. Emission mode. Emission mode is how the laser energy is actually being made inside of the machine, coming out through the end. Emission mode, okay, we're running on time. Ultra pulse, that's UP, or continuous wave, CW, two different things. Continuous wave is a constant Star Wars death beam coming out of the laser. Ultra pulse breaks that beam up about 10,000 times per second to allow what's called thermal relaxation time. It gives the tissue some time to cool. Okay, so So you're not going to end up with a lot of charring effect. Okay, charring in those sensitive areas is kind of bad. We don't want that in our airway cases. Okay, so ultra pulse is really good, and aim and beam function is basic. Okay, we can get really into the weeds with focusing and stuff like that, but I'm not. I see a few glossy eyes already. We're not going to do all of that. So again, if you guys have any questions, definitely call me. If you guys are in the middle of a case and the doctor said, hey, how do we do this? Definitely call me. If you guys have questions about money, call him. Okay.
Do we have your card somewhere on
Yes, I do have some cards for you guys. I'll leave one of these.
And Brandon, can you show them how to get to the preset? We'll put in a preset for Dr. Wong. So all you have to do is click his name, and
Okay, sure thing.
it should make things even easier.
And then what do we document, nursing-wise for the patient information? What's the, I mean, I know we typically document what shape you use,
Mhm.
the settings, the depth,
So there's no total energy that's displayed
Okay.
on the laser, but instead it can show you how much energy it's using per scan, and then I would document the wattage, so the 2 watts, maybe
And the
the
depth.
the depth, yeah.
Wattage, your power, your depth, how deep you're going, size, shape, and emission load. Okay, those are the major ones. If you want to, you can also put on your exposure mode. That's your repeat setting. Okay, but as Brett alluded to, this machine does not calculate total energy like you would see on a regular machine, or like for a Homium for a stone case. Let's say you used 8.5 kilojoules or something. This doesn't do that because the calculations of the power variation, the size, shape, it would be a lot of calculations over a long period of time, especially in some of your longer cases. Okay. As far as saving a setting, okay, let's say Dr. J likes 5 watts, okay? He wants it at a 2, so we're at 0.4 settings. He likes a line at about 40% size, okay? Ultra pulse mode, aim and beam, everything is good. His repeat settings are good. We want to save this, okay? So there's a little icon for a save disk on here, just like an old school floppy disk, okay? I can save this as whatever it is, treatment for, sorry, so at a note, this is Dr. J, okay? Boom, save. Can't see, I don't know, there we go. Why is it not doing it?
Can I take this off? Maybe that's.
The film,
Oh.
yeah, that's pretty rough. I know a lot of people with new TVs are like, oh my God.
I'm sorry, I can't keep it on there. It is ours now.
Okay, the treatment area is larynx. Okay. Actually, that's perfectly fine. So we have our branch of ENT where we're using this. The area of treatment, we're in the larynx. No specific treatment because it can do vocal folds and stuff like that. But you can label that as vocal cord. You can label it as papilloma. You can label it as polyp, or just simple airway if you need to excise, right? Save.
Missing information, perhaps?
Yeah, probably. So let's do that. Let's save vocal fold.
We're running out of time.
Yep, got you. Vocal, boom, boom. Select name.
There you go.
Save.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, that's excellent observation, sir. It's been a long time since I've saved because I manually kind of do this on the fly, go to a lot of different areas, a lot of different doctors. So, we want to go to our treatment screen. Dr. Wang's will automatically pop up here on the main home screen. As long as everything is everything is connected properly, it will take you exactly to where you need to go. Choose the data. Those are his settings.
This is what he likes pretty much every time. So all you guys should have to change is that from a dot to a line, and then he'll change the size and the
Yep.
shape.
Got it.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you guys for
Very
having me. And again,
informational.
I know it's a lot of information in a very short amount of time. If you guys have any questions, please call. And if you can't get in touch with me, have Brett reach out to me, and I'll do my best to get to you ASAP.
I always pick up, right?
Yeah, you do. Thank you so much.
No problem, no problem.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.